Can a compact camera like this be a perfect companion for a travel and street photographer when compared to a professional DSLR? Let's find out. What's up guys, I hope you're doing well. I'm Jack. In this video, I'm gonna share with you my experience on using the Canon G7X Mark III. A few days ago, Canon wrote me and asked if I would be interested to test this camera, and as a travel and street photographer, it is really important for me to capture the right moment at the right time. My usual setup would be the Canon EOS RP mirrorless full-frame camera combined with the 24-105mm f4 lens, the setup which I'm using to talk with you guys right now. I also carry my 11-24mm lens for taking architectural pictures or pictures in a very cramped areas. This is a beast of a lens and allows me to capture all the crazy details without any warping. And also I use the 50mm 1.8 lens, and on rare scenarios I use the 150-600mm lens. So it was quite challenging for me to use only this camera as my main camera for a week, but I tried my best to capture all the moments using only this camera to give you guys my best opinion. The first feature I was really excited about on the small camera was the time-lapse mode. The camera offers 3 different modes for your needs, and it captures hundreds of images and makes a video by itself. I can of course shoot a time-lapse video on my usual camera by taking hundreds of pictures, bringing it into post-processing and making it as a video. But this camera shows the result on spot so that I have a better understanding if I got the best shot or if I should go for another take. So I tested the time-lapse mode on 3 different light conditions to create a cinematic video sequence. Let's see how it looks. How cool was that? I captured the whole video sequence just using this camera and did a bit of color correction in Premiere Pro and added some effects, but apart from that, the output quality was really good and I was very much impressed. So the next situation where I tested the camera was at street photography. As I told you before, for street photography it's really important to capture the right moment at the right time. So you need to have a faster camera and a better focus. When I tested this camera in street photography situations, you can see the results right here that the camera did pretty good on a good light situation, but it struggled a bit during the blue hour. It's pretty understandable considering the sensor size of the camera and its zoom capabilities. This is where I would much prefer my usual gear. On the other hand, I also use the camera to take some urban shots like these examples right here, and the camera did a pretty good job. The camera records raw images which allowed me to edit more during post-processing without damaging the file. This is where this camera is far superior when compared to a smartphone camera. The pictures from a smartphone camera can be edited, but not too much, as it doesn't store so much details when compared to a raw format pictures. I also use the camera in night situations to take videos and understand how much details can the camera capture, as it has a very wide open aperture compared to my regular f4 lens. Here you can see in this example that the camera did a pretty good job in capturing all the details in a very low light situation, both indoor and outdoor. And this camera is said to be a great camera for vlogging, but this is not the right setup, so now, the G7X Mark III is considered as one of the best vloggers camera in the market. When I started filming myself, the big camera was quite intimidating and I had to practice to make sure I look straight into the lens, because when I'm looking at the tilt screen right here, you will immediately notice that I don't have an eye contact. But with this camera, I feel much more confident because the camera is quite small. It's not that intimidating when compared to my usual camera, and also the tilt screen is quite close to the lens, so even if I'm checking every now and then to make sure if I'm in focus, it doesn't make a huge difference. So if you are someone who is starting to film yourself, this camera can be a quite great tool. Now, if you ask me how this camera is better in taking vlogging videos compared to a regular smartphone, I have two videos right here where the first scenario was captured using a smartphone. As you can see, it's really good in having all the details, but there was a depth missing in the whole video sequence. In comparison, if you see the video from the G7X Mark III, you would see that I am in focus and the background is blurred, so it adds more dynamic feel to the video and makes it more interesting. One last test I wanted to do with this camera is to see how much of a difference can it make in this video setup. Currently, as I said, I'm using a 24-105mm f4 lens, and this one starts at 24mm as well, but at f1.8. So let's see how much of a difference it makes in the video. Now this video is taken using the setup G7X Mark III at f1.8. As you can see that the video is quite bright compared to the older setup due to its wide aperture. And this camera does have an external microphone input, but it doesn't have a place to attach the external microphone. In order to attach an external microphone, I had to use something like this, but this is much better than recording the audio using the internal microphone. So in conclusion, would I take this camera as my main camera? For some situations like capturing time-lapse videos, as I showed you some examples, and for taking quick shots on the go, and for vlogging situations, I would definitely have this camera in my camera bag. On the other hand, for street photography or for different situation travel pictures, I would still prefer to have my usual camera setup. I hope you heard useful information regarding the camera. I will leave the link to the camera in the description below so you can check all the technical details. If you have any more questions regarding my user experience with the camera, feel free to write me a DM in my Instagram at SusansJack and I will be happy to reply to you. Like and comment to this video and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Bye-bye. Can do this all day. Love it.